If you've spent any time in the volleyball community, you'll know that shoulder pain is extremely common. And it's actually not just the volleyball community. As a whole, we tend to have trouble with our shoulders. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, it's a really complex area. We've got tons of muscles connecting to a single spot. And we don't really know exactly how to work out those muscles a lot of times. There's a lot of strange muscles in there that don't get very much use. And then second, there are muscles that we use a lot. For example, our chest muscle is one that we work out all the time. Everybody knows how to do a push-up. So what I want to talk about today is how can we relax our shoulder? How can we strengthen the muscles we don't use very often and then stretch out and roll out the muscles that are extremely strong, the ones that we use often. And an important disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I'm just a volleyball player who has experience with shoulder pain, and I've been spending the last couple of months learning about my shoulder and what I can do to extend my career. I expect to be playing volleyball well into my 50s and 60s, and to do that, I need to focus on the muscles in my shoulder that will help me relax and strengthen, and so I can continue to hit balls well into my 60s. Let's first talk about the muscles that are extremely strong in our shoulder. As volleyball players, we're constantly coming down on balls like this, right? And so it's these muscles right here. There's two rotator cuff muscles that pull that arm forward. The chest muscle is extremely important to hitting balls. So these muscles right here tend to be very strong. And after a long day of volleyball, you might notice like, oh man, I really want to just stretch my chest out. So here's two exercises that you can do to stretch your muscles out in that area. The first one is a simple chest stretch up against a wall. So you're going to put both palms on the wall, and you can try with different heights in terms of your hand, but you want to really stretch out that chest muscle and take your time, stretch for 10 minutes at a time, really work these muscles. And the second one is rolling out the chest muscles. So if you don't currently foam roll or roll on your calves with tennis balls or lacrosse balls, something that you should really start doing. It'll really break up that tightness in your muscle and help you stretch it out. Now the second muscle that I want to talk about stretching out a lot of times is back here, your back muscles, right? So these are called your lats, commonly called the lats. And there's even a smaller one that comes up into your armpit, the latimus dorsi. And these ones are actually oftentimes fairly strong, right? A lot of people do upright rows, some back pulls, right? So this is what pulls your shoulders back. Now, if you don't do a lot of these exercises, I definitely recommend it. Now, if you do, what oftentimes happens is it gets tight, and if a tight lat will cause pain when you try and raise your arm back behind your head. And we definitely need flexibility to be able to pull that arm back, right? Here's a couple of easy stretches, right? Just across the shoulder. This really stretches out that back. And then this one's nice. So this is also into your tricep as well. But once you rotate a little bit, that'll be also your back muscle. Great stretches. And then finally, this one's very important, right? So being able to pull back on your elbow like this. These are great stretches for your upper back. Rolling out with a ball. So we really want to roll this area out here. This will break up some of that tight muscles in there. It'll be really nice to loosen things up. Now the second muscle we want to really work on is right underneath the armpit here. And what I like to do is I grab a kettleball and I lay down on a kettleball and just really work that area, break up some of that tightness. And once we break that up, it'll help us be able to pull our arm back behind our head, no problem. All right, there's one more area that I want to talk about, an area that we don't think about too often, and it's actually our bicep tendon. So right here we've got the chest muscle and those rotator cuff muscles that pull the shoulder forward. And then right after that, right here, you'll feel it. It's almost always tender. Everyone's got a tender bicep tendon right there. And the best way to stretch that out is to do what's called a sleeper stretch. So take a look at this. You're going to lay down on your shoulder, elbow at a right angle, and you're going to kind of roll onto your shoulder and then push that hand down. And just be gentle with it. It's really tight. And this is one that's not going to loosen up right away like some of the other muscles. Because it's a tendon, it's going to take some time. So make sure you're always working your bicep tendon. All right, so now that we've loosened up a lot of those stronger muscles that are possibly making our shoulders hunch forward, let's talk about the muscles that we need to build up so that we can strengthen our shoulder, pulling our arms back, chest forward, making us feel comfortable. Let that shoulder sit nice and comfortably in the socket. And really the two muscles we want to work on are the rotator cuff muscles that pull your arm like this, right? So this is the extension, right? So that's a muscle back here. And then also the same muscles will do this right here and pull your arm back, right? And if you're a volleyball player, it's pretty clear why this is an important muscle. Now, if we're constantly swinging forward, it's going to put a lot of pressure and it's going to be tense on those muscles. So what we need to do is be able to strengthen those muscles so that for the rest of the day, our shoulders sit comfortably. So here's a couple exercises I'm going to run through for you that you can work on. And remember, these are weak muscles in our shoulders, so don't do a lot of weight. Just a couple of pounds of light resistance band will be perfect. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me talking about our shoulders. I hope this is helpful for you. Again, I am not a doctor, so if you are experiencing pain, go see get some professional help. Now, I hope this is helpful for you, just hearing some ideas about how to strengthen and loosen those chest muscles and really let your shoulders sit comfortably. And if you've got any questions or any comments, I'd love to hear them. Please reach out to me. I'm going to attach a few more videos of some stretches and exercises to help you at the end of this video. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks.